decide the technological progress of humankind at the spacefaring era, and compete against the other players to be the leading faction in Beyond the Sun. Thank you for joining me today at Tantrum House Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp. Beyond the Sun is a worker placement game with a tech tree and a sci-fi theme. It's for 2 to 4 players. It's published by Rio Grande Games. They sent us this copy to review. There's the tech tree board and the space exploration board in the main play area. Each player has a board that they'll set up with dice and tokens at the beginning of the game. Here's a quick overview of Beyond the Sun. The game is played over a series of rounds. In a given round, players place their action pawn on an empty space, taking an action, then producing something, and seeing if they've completed an achievement. Once 4 achievements have been claimed, that triggers the end of the game. Players count up points to see who wins. At the beginning of the game, there are just a few spaces available to take actions, basic spacefaring. And in order to take actions at higher levels, you'll have to research those levels. At higher levels, there are even cards that will be revealed when the first person researches that spot. These are events which usually give a benefit to the player who revealed them, and then sometimes give points or other game benefits for other players throughout the rest of the game. And then the person reveals technology cards until 2 of the indicated colors are revealed, and then chooses 1 to put in the spot. The different colors correspond to the different kinds of technologies: producing ore, population, shipbuilding and moving, colonization, and more. Not only will you be trying to move up the tech tree, but you'll also be trying to interact with the exploration board. As you build ships, you'll be able to place them here and then move them around to different spots. If you have majority control based on the value of your ships, you'll be able to place your different wooden discs and sometimes get a benefit. These help increase your production capabilities. At the end of your turn, you'll choose one type you want to produce. Also on the exploration board are these system cards. They have certain requirements to be colonized. You'll be taking an action to colonize. These cards not only give you endgame points, but usually a little bonus as well. Your dice go back to your faction mat supply side up. There's a little bit of balancing going on as dice are being removed from your mat because of certain actions that you're taking, and then there's dice coming back to your mat based on the actions that you're taking. But sometimes in the game you are trying to get dice off of your mat, but there's like none left, or very few left, so you sort of have to be aware of that as you're playing. Another way of getting points in the game is by completing the achievements. 4 are placed out at the beginning of the game, 2 are always in the game, and 2 are randomly drawn. As soon as a 4th achievement is claimed, that triggers the end of the game. You'll finish that round, play 1 more round, and then you'll count up points to see who wins. The back of your player aid lists all the different ways you'll be counting points, mainly from technologies achieved, colonized systems, and completed achievements. The playtime on the box is 1 to 2 hours. The first time we played it probably took us closer to 3 hours. Of course, we're trying to figure out how the game worked. And I would also say a higher player count is definitely going to make the game a little bit longer. The space sci-fi theme really comes through more on the exploration board as you're moving your ships around and colonizing it. It sort of feels like an area control game going on there. But personally, I really like the tech tree and what's going on there as you're deciding which way to go as you're trying to get to the higher tiers. And if you're the first to research in a spot, it's sort of like a surprise on what you'll be getting, whereas you see what you're getting on the exploration board. Lots of replayability in this game. You got the tech tree cards, the system cards, your achievements, decisions that you'll be making all the way down to your player board. There's a basic and an advanced side to the player boards. And I'm a big fan of the dual layer player board so that the components sort of sit inside the spots. I'm a bit clumsy, so I'm always like bumping into things, so this definitely reduces the possibility of messing things up on your board. The components overall are very good. The dice remind me a little of the Roll for the Galaxy dice, the size and the color, although you never roll the dice in Beyond the Sun. The ore are shaped nicely, and they're not just cubes. The box illustration is great. I love the art direction of it. You have the flying spaceship, but you also have this colonization going on here on the planet as well. Another thing to be aware of is the amount of table space the game takes up. There are basically 2 main boards, and it's a little difficult to be near both of them at the same time. Now, player interaction comes a lot on the space exploration board with that area control going on, but also on the tech tree because there's limited spots for the action pawns. I love this game. It's been one of the favorite games I played this year. It's not too heavy, it's not too light. I would sort of put it in between medium and heavy, sort of a medium plus game, which are games I really enjoy. It's got worker placement, a tech tree, a little area control. It's got resource management. It's probably going to be in my top 10 board games of 2020. That video will come out from Tantrum House sometime in December. Check out Beyond the Sun from Rio Grande Games. And as always, please like this video and subscribe to Tantrum House.